Newcastle at the moment. They're unbeaten at home. They're the only team unbeaten at home in the Premier League after Arsenal's defeat to Manchester City. They're on this incredible 17-match unbeaten streak as well. But they've drawn 5 of their last 6. What does that tell you about Newcastle right now?
They're a really hard team to beat. You've lost one game all season now.
Yeah.
You know, OK, their form's dipped slightly. They've got draws. They don't get beat by hardly anybody.
Yeah.
And I think that character within the group stands out. That's their standout feature. They're so solid defensively. Set piece is good. Callum Wilson looks like a doubt today whether he'll make it. It's a bit of a loss to them. But they're pretty predictable. You could name their goalkeeper and backline every game now. And you could probably, you know, even if they have suspensions, you can probably get close to Newcastle's 11. That tells you that Eddie Howe has put a side together that pretty much picks itself.
They've conceded just 6 at home. They've got the best defence home-wise, as well as the best defence in the league. But Liverpool did score against them twice at Anfield earlier this season. And on Monday, we had the Merseyside derby, and they deservedly won that game, Liverpool. Did you see flashes of Liverpool of old that's maybe given you a bit of hope that they can turn this season around a little bit?
Well, I love the counter-attack goal they got, because they haven't done that enough this year, Liverpool. Breaking from the corner really quickly, using the pace of Núñez, getting in behind. Núñez, Gakpo and Salah. Hopefully in the weeks to come for Liverpool, they can produce and cause havoc to teams because they can counter really quickly. And I thought the midfield looked far more strong. It was interesting, and I've spoken quite a lot about this all season, about Thiago and his effect on the team, when he's been in it and when he's out of it. And as gifted as he is, because he is one of the most gifted players you're going to see, it feels a more natural midfield when he's not actually in there. Now, we could say, well, he played a big part of last season when they were doing brilliantly well and they were unbeaten. He was part of that midfield. It just hasn't been the case this season.
As for Liverpool then, they're unbeaten in the last 12 against Newcastle, and in fact were the last side to win at St James's Park. Are you confident they can do something similar today?
Well, we're not confident, no. Because Newcastle are such a tricky team to play against and beat.
Yeah.
I did feel better after the Everton game, not because Liverpool won, but I just saw things that...
Flashes of something.
Flashes of what they're about.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one, and it's a great test, more for Liverpool for me than Newcastle. I think we know what Newcastle are, and they're like I say, it's a little bit predictable, but I do feel that they're a much more solid and trusted team at the moment.
Just one final word on Newcastle. Could any of the players, and I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask you anyway, could any of them be distracted by knowing there's a League Cup final looming next weekend? Could that play on any of their minds, thinking, I really want to be a part of that, for example, and they don't want to get an injury or whatever it is?
Yeah, lovely. But the Champions League football's far more important than the League Cup final.
Fair enough.
Yes, for the fans, and it'll be packed and it'll be incredible next weekend. And of course they want to be part of it. But I don't think Eddie Howe will be thinking like that. I'll be thinking we can get into the top 4 and we're playing a team that could stop us getting into the top 4. So I think that will be his main drive today.
And if, right, I'm being a bit cruel
here because
there is an if, but I've just been sort of spoon-fed an idea. If they had to pick one or the other, can't have both, League Cup or Champions League football for next season, what would you be going for if you were a player or the manager?
Well, the fans will pick the trophy, I think. Because they haven't had one for so long. But I think the players and the club would love more the Champions League.